Hi, all you SPMEs out there. Today's question has 3 answers, and you're going to want to stick around because the third answer is a secret as to why most authors fail to succeed at self-publishing. So let's get into it. The question that was sent in is, can an author-published book succeed? Now, this is an excellent question because maybe you're an author and you're thinking, should I even bother to publish this book myself, or do I really need to keep on trying to get it published by a traditional publisher? This is quite common, and if you're not going to succeed at publishing it yourself, then perhaps it is better to just go the other route. And I'm going to answer this question in today's video. So let's get into it. By the end of today's video, you're going to know whether or not a published book can succeed. You're going to have the steps necessary to succeed, and you're going to feel great about even your failures. So let's get into it then. This is Chris Baird from selfpublishingmadeeasynow.com, where self-publishing doesn't have to be so hard. Click the subscribe bell if you'd like for me to make more videos like this one, and check out below in the description and you can grab my absolutely free self-publishing checklist to help you ensure you succeed at self-publishing. So, can an author-published book succeed? Well, let me tell you a little story from my past regarding a secret seed. So, what happened was my son, he had an assignment from school where he brought back a can, like a can of soup, and where the label had been taken off and soil had been put within the can, and in the dirt was a seed, but we didn't know what kind of seed it was. And so the entire project was to water it and to give it sunlight and the things that are necessary in order to get this plant to grow. Now, as the plant began to grow, we saw that it was some sort of Asian basil, but we didn't know anything about plants since in our history, we've actually had all of the plants we've ever had in our house die on us. So we've been unable to keep the plants alive since we do quite a bit of traveling. Now, as the plant began to grow, we were amazed that it was doing so well. I had put it into a system, one of my task management systems, to make sure I was watering on a regular basis. We were giving it the sunlight that was necessary, and everything was going fantastic. The plant was growing very, very well. The problem was I was going to be leaving and going on a trip for a week or two. And the question was, how exactly are we going to ensure that this plant continues to grow even though we're off on a trip? So what I did was, I began to Google the particular question of how do you create some sort of a self-watering system. And I came up with a number of solutions. One of them was a little thing you put in the top that will self-water, but it overwatered the plant. Another solution involved a little bulb type of device that would go in there, and it overwatered. Some people suggested putting Coke bottles with little holes in the bottom inside the plant, and that also resulted in an overwatering effect. The final solution we found was on a YouTube video where it showed how you could take a bottle and you could have a water bottle and have a string going down from the water bottle going up into the plant, and it would pull the water through the water bottle up into the plant and have it water itself. And this solution actually ended up working while we were gone on our trip. And the downside, of course, was it was wobbly and it fell over from time to time. So I checked around some more until I actually found an actual pot that would do that watering for me. And that then suddenly hit me. I'm like, wow, this is truly amazing that I can actually have plants that water themselves even though we're gone on a vacation. And this was quite decisive with regards to one of our biggest problems, which is why all of our plants always die. And the end result being was that after I had that set up, it was that I said, well, why do I stop here? Why not buy additional herbs? Since I already had basil, I began to buy additional herbs, and that has become, well, now we're up to 12 different herbs that we have growing at the same time in these designed self-watering pots. And so that the water, there's a little string that comes down in each of the pots into a reservoir where you fill up with the water, and you can see the water level, and then it automatically waters the plants. And the key issue here is that we discovered that the failures drive success if you don't give up. And my son's original secret seed it sprouted into something more than basil. It sprouted into a brand new hobby. Well, you might be wondering, what does this have to do with? So, can an author published book succeed? And the answer is yes. And our secret answer will hit a little bit upon how that relates to the seed that we were dealing with. And the answer is yes, though you will have to try different strategies and keep on trying. And just like with the plant and the self-watering, I had previously given up too many times. We would get a plant, it was fantastic, it would grow a bit, we would go on vacation, and we'd come back in and it would be dead. We simply didn't have the right strategies implemented in order to keep the plant alive. The second answer is there's an enormous audience of readers, even now more than since everyone is stuck at home and everybody has cell phones, and more people each year have cell phones. There are people who want to buy your books, but they are going to need your book, and you're going to need to have a book in a market that doesn't already have too many books. And so you definitely can succeed with your self-publishing. And that brings us to the secret answer of the day, which is most people fail because there's two major reasons they fail. They stop learning and they stop executing. If you only execute without learning, that would be like us getting our plants and simply allowing them to die over and over. We executed, but we never succeeded because we didn't have the right strategies. And if you only learn where you're just doing the right strategies, you're still going to fail because you're not executing and putting those strategies into action. And most authors fall into one or the other camp, or the third camp, which maybe even is the most common. You try, fail, and you just give up. And this is a key issue that you're going to want to keep track of and make sure you don't fall into that group. That just quitting too early, and then you hop to something else, and then you hop to something else, and you try, you fail, and hop again. So I know the group that I'm most likely to fall under, even though with the plants it was trying and failing, and I kept executing but just kept failing because I didn't learn. But I'm of a type that tends to learn too much and less execution. And so I have to really work on staying focused on continually putting books out, learning things, updating my checklists, and making sure that they're the highest quality books and I get better each time so that I can sell more books to the audience that wants to read those books. So, what have you found out? Can an author-published book succeed? What is your nasty habit? Is it to learn too much? Or maybe it's to execute too much without any learning at all? Or maybe you just are considering quitting. Let me know below in the comments, and check up above me here for more video answers for your self-publishing questions. Thanks.